And welcome back for another new episode of Let's Talk. We are winding down our shows here before we take a break heading into Thanksgiving, but never fear, I'm ready to have some fun as your host, Chad Landers. Now, we've got some great guests lined up for today, some great conversations, but before we get to that, here's what's on my mind. As the high school football playoffs approach, we are certainly excited at News 11 Sports, looking forward to all the great games that we will get to cover. But that's not what I want to talk about right now. I'm looking ahead into the future, into next year. And that's when I think we will officially see major change in the fortunes of the Ephrata football program. Yeah, I know. They've lost 50 straight football games. I know they've gone through 2 coaches who have not won a single game. And I know that they've gotten their butts kicked in Section 2 and Section 3. But 2018 is going to be the year the streak is broken. Mark my words, we can all feel it. Ephrata is due. Now trust me, they are going to have to put in a lot of work, hit up the weight room hard, recruit the crap out of the other athletic kids in this school who are not currently playing football, but they can do it, and I believe in Coach Miller. And here's even more reasons. They are moving down to Section 3, and there are some real winnable games down there, by the way, including possibly Elko, Pequea Valley, Columbia, and even Octorara who shows up. So my prediction right now is 3 wins next year. And honestly, if that happens, the entire season is a victory. So there you have it, a couple of predictions from me. Let's hope I am much better at it than our friend Castradamus. And we will keep the show rolling on here. We've got some great guests coming up. As I mentioned, it's very field hockey centric here. And before you let your negative field hockey bias creep in, these are some phenomenal young athletes who deserve a lot of attention for what they are doing and how they are doing it. On this episode of Let's Talk, I chat with a member of Team USA Field Hockey Warwick grad Alyssa Manley as they get set for a very busy and important November. And I will chat with one of the best young players in the country, Donegal's own Mackenzie Alessi. This young lady can really get it done on the field hockey pitch, and both of those conversations and much more are coming up on this episode of Let's Talk, so stay tuned. And we're back here on Let's Talk and are joined by a member of the U.S. Women's National Team here at Field Hockey Headquarters at the Nook. It is Alyssa Manley, Warwick grad. We have to get all that in. It's such a long title, but again, we haven't seen you in a while, so it's good to see you. How you been?
Good, very good.
Yeah. So we really wanted to catch up with you because you and the whole Team USA are heading out of the country here soon.
Yeah.
We won't be able to catch up with you maybe even until the end of the year. So this is our chance.
Yep.
Last we saw you was Pan American Cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how have things gone since then? We never really got to kind of hear. What was the fallout from that? You guys got 3rd, which was fine, but I think you guys were kind of hoping for more. So how did the team react and kind of regroup from that?
It was definitely a little disappointing. I mean, we were still happy that we were able to get the wins in the end and medal. We did have a few injuries here and there throughout it, so there was a lot of things that were kind of thrown at us that we had to kind of overcome throughout the tournament. And so we've just kind of gotten back to training and back into the swing of things, and we're all feeling really good now.
Right, and I'm sure Coach has kind of found some things that you guys need to work on, and you're going into some really big tournaments. So before you guys leave, what is kind of the message that Coach Schoppman is preaching? Because these are some pretty big tournaments for you guys.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've been working so hard over the last few months and weeks, so just making sure that we know what we're doing our job while we're on the field, because I mean we've learned so much of like what we're supposed to be doing, so just really showing that when we're on the field, and everything should come together pretty well.
Okay, so let's explain to everybody what's going on. You guys have 2 major tournaments throughout the month of November. First up is the Festival of Hockey. Why don't you tell us kind of when you guys will head out of town, where that is, who you'll be up against, all the fun stuff. And yeah, let's fill everybody in.
All right, so we're leaving on November 2nd, and we're heading to Australia we play 4 games, I believe, while we're there. We're playing against Australia, Japan, and the Netherlands. And then from there, we fly to Auckland, New Zealand for the World League final.
Right, and how many times have you been to Australia personally with this team?
I've actually never been to Australia, so I'm very excited to go.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long flight.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And we should mention, those are some really good teams. The Netherlands is the #1 team in the world. You guys are number 4. You said Australia, right? So I think they're number 5. And then did you say Japan or?
Yeah, Japan.
Japan. They are anywhere from 7 to 11. So some really good teams. What are you guys looking to get out of that? Because it's not necessarily a chance to get a medal or anything, but it certainly is the test against some really good competition.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just going to get game experience. We have some new girls that are going with, so it'll be good for them to play against these higher ranked teams. And our last games were obviously in August at the Pan Am Cup, so it'll just be good to get the games and have like a little bit of a platform before we go over to the World League final in New Zealand.
Which again, for everybody, is that one's the big deal. And you did mention some new girls. This team is still in such a state of flux because, go back a year ago, you guys were at the Olympics and I think had one of the best teams in the history of the program. And now you've lost a lot of those ladies, retirement, injury, some time off, and you have a lot of youth on the team. What's the importance here of getting all of these ladies on the same page as we, slowly approach another Olympic year?
I think just getting comfortable on the field, like getting used to the speed of the game, the fitness level, the strength level of these different countries, and just kind of meshing well together, which they've done amazing by doing that. They filled in really well. We haven't really missed too much of a step with the new girls coming onto the team, so it's been really good.
So then the big tournament is the World League Finals, which again, we have to remind everybody, you guys did so fantastic in the World League semis, I think is what we call it. Got gold there, right? You won like 2 overtime games. Man, you just had to be feeling so good after that, and then now preparing for this World League Finals. Just tell us kind of all the emotions and the preparation that have gone into that.
Yeah, it was really great. I mean, our last 2 games we had been losing, and we came back to tie it, so then we went to shootouts, and we ended up winning the shootout.
They were fantastic.
Yeah, so it was really good, and it shows like the resilience of our team. So being able to win that tournament and then move on to the finals in New Zealand is just amazing, and we get to continue to like show what we've been working on and like how well we're connecting now.
And just kind of refresh everybody, and even myself, who do we get to see you guys go up against in that World League final?
Oh, there's 8 teams. So
there's 8 teams?
Yes,
okay.
The Netherlands, Japan, New Zealand, us, Germany, England.
Argentina, I think I saw.
Argentina.
Is there a Korea team in there?
Korea and China.
Okay.
Yes.
So it floods the whole gambit of teams, and really that's going to test you guys and a chance to just kind of really be a measuring stick for Team USA.
Exactly, because I mean all these different teams, there's so many different styles between like the different regions, and like just the level of the teams is just going to be really good to play against.
Well, that is exciting. Obviously, we wish you and Team USA the best of luck in that. You're more on like the veteran side now, which is kind of hilarious, because how many years have you been a full-time member of Team USA?
I guess I would have started technically in 2016 as like going full-time, but I've been on the team since 2015.
Okay, so really only still 2 years.
Yeah, this is my first like cycle of being on the team for like a full year, so it's been different.
Does it feel like you are starting to move towards like a knowledgeable leadership role, or is there still enough people that you don't have to assume that role yet?
I'm trying to step out a little bit more and kind of like put my input in places and like kind of share my knowledge too. But there definitely are the girls on the team that like have been on the team for so long and have so much knowledge of the game that I'm still learning so much from them. So it's also really good.
But you're at least having a great time and see this going on for the foreseeable future for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. All right, well, we are so excited for you and the team, and we look forward to watching the games and then talking to you guys when you get back. And then hopefully you guys get a nice break towards the end of the year.
Maybe, we'll see.
We will see. But again, we really appreciate all the time we can get from you, and look forward to seeing how you guys can show the world what you got over there.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with all of that. And yeah, we will give you more details on kind of how you guys can check that out. But for now, we're wishing Team USA all the best. And when we come back, we will have more here on Let's Talk. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back after this commercial break. And welcome back here on Let's Talk. We are getting ready to go one-on-one with an athlete in the LL League that I've been trying to get an interview with for probably the last year and a half, and we finally were able to catch up with Mackenzie Alessi, Donegal Field Hockey, and they are certainly in the playoffs right now, doing really well. But I want to say to you, thank you for coming on. You guys really haven't had much of an experience with Blue Ridge, so this is your first time on camera with us. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. We've certainly been keeping an eye on your career over the last couple of years, and it really is an impressive one here. I was talking to your coach earlier. 3 section titles, three district titles, 2 league titles, and a state title last year.
Yes.
How was that? How has that been for you? I mean, this is a very impressive career. How do you kind of deal with all of that success, especially at that young age as you were as freshman and sophomore years?
Well, it's been really fun and amazing. There's like a bunch of different games, experiences, like especially going so long, you really build a bond with each other on the team. And you just gotta remember to always stay humble. Like, we always keep in line, like we are still out to win, like take one game at a time, and never take anything for granted.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, you guys played against Penn Manor the other day, and I think your only loss in the season, or maybe even the last 2 years, is to Penn Manor, right? Yeah. And so, obviously, they're a great team. You guys are a great team. Talk to me about winning the state title, and then now this year trying to repeat as champs. How does that go for you and your teammates? Is it more difficult? Is it more fun? What's that like?
Well, it's always going to be a challenge because, like, it's hard to do things 2 times in a row, but it really pushes us. Like, we know we have to work harder than we did last year if we want to do it again, so it's like a good challenge.
And last year, if I remember correctly, Rachel Robinson was here, and it seemed to me like she was a pretty big leader for the team, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but are you now more in that role? What's the dynamic like?
Yeah, we have 3 captains, me, Grace Miller, and Ashley Maxwell, and we all do a pretty good job of just trying to, Rachel was a big part, we did lose her, especially in leadership in the backfield, but Grace and Ashley both stepped up really well in the backfield this year, and we're all making an impact. And now, even more like this year, we have a lot more seniors this year, so we have a lot more like captains, and they like know what to do, and they're all pushing each other and pushing like one another.
Great. Just talk to us a little bit about your coach, because I was talking to her as well before this interview, and she's been here a while. I think she said 14 years, which I was not even aware of that. And I mean, just talk to us what she adds to this team and what she brings to this team and is able to kind of get you guys to this, what I would say now, an elite level program.
Well, she is our coach, and so she pushes us that way, but she's also like really supportive of every one of us. So she like personally knows each of us on a deeper level, which helps. And none of us want to ever disappoint coach. Like, that's probably the worst thing ever. Yeah. So that makes us work harder, and just her being at practice makes us work harder. Like, if she wasn't here, we would work hard, but like her being here like pushes us even more.
What is it about field hockey that you like so much? Why are you able to enjoy it and be so good at it? What is that, you know?
I love how it changes all the time. Like, no game is gonna ever like be the same, and it's like keeps evolving. Like, it used to not have the self-start rule. Now there's a self-start rule, and it just keeps changing. And it's also like such a team sport, and so you get to like off the field you build connections with your teammates, and then on the field like you can see who's like if you're a close team or not, because you're working really hard off each other and just like developing.
People may not be aware of this. Obviously, you're an incredible athlete on the field hockey pitch, but one of the stats I saw recently was you may lead the nation in goals scored. Are you aware of that? And how have you been able to get to such an elite level as being the nation's leader in goals scored?
Yeah, I know about that because Coach told me how, like, showed me the national ranks and stuff. And it's good. You just got to keep working hard. Like, in the summer, every day I was out playing every day.
Is that something you pride yourself on? What is it? Stick skills? Is it mental? How does someone become a good goal scorer?
Just like by knowing the game and like learning, watching film, going out and like practicing every different kind of shot.
Okay, so you do watch film.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Most people might not know that about field hockey, that you can watch some film.
Yeah, YouTube videos all the time.
Well, it's a lot different than it was 10 years ago, that's for sure. Let's talk about some more fun things here. I'm sure you're catching attention on the national level. Obviously, Lancaster County is home to the U.S. Women's National Field Hockey Team now, and we certainly have a good relationship with them. Is that something you're aspiring towards? Is that something that's, down the road a while, or is that a short-term goal? Where are we at with the U.S. team?
Right now, past 2 years, I've been on the U17 and U19 national developmental squads, and this year I'm on the U19 one as well. And so that's fun. It's like motivates you to keep getting better, so then you can keep moving up.
And is that, would you potentially like to be in the Olympics with Team USA?
Yeah.
That's a goal?
Yeah.
Okay, but first, go to college
Yeah.
and all that. What's the college scene like for you? I mean, you're a junior this year, so you really don't have to get super serious about it, but I'm sure there's a lot of colleges that have come calling, right?
Yeah, just trying to take it slow and like not making the wrong choice.
Right.
And like I didn't want to make it too early, so then I like regret what I made in like my senior year when I actually understand stuff. I'm like, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. So just like taking it slow.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable telling people where the decision process is down to, or would you like to keep that to
I'm
yourself?
gonna keep that.
To yourself. Okay.
It's a surprise.
Is that more towards the senior year where you might unveil that?
I'm probably going to decide like after junior season
Okay.
in the indoor middle December season.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
we really
you.
appreciate it getting to know Mackenzie Alessi. I hope that really kind of fills people in because, again, we don't have much of an experience with Donegal, so it was nice to at least kind of get over here and talk with you a little bit. And obviously, we wish you the best of luck going forward in districts and then states. That would be really cool to see you guys win another state title, and obviously good luck to the rest of the squad as well. Mackenzie Alessi joining us. What a treat for us. We will step aside, and when we come back, we're going to head back into the studio, talk all kinds of other local sports, including obviously football. So stay with us. We will be right back. Okay, welcome back to Let's Talk. We are in our final segment here on the show, bringing back a guest that we have had on the program before. It's Jeff Reinhart from LNP Sports. It's really good to have you back. You're our first two-time guest, Jeff.
Wow,
Yeah.
awesome. Good to be back. Where did those 10 weeks go?
I know. What did we have, like week 2, week 3 we had you on. So
Wow,
we
quick
have-
season.
We have flown through, and we have gotten to see an entire football season, and you're incredibly happy about that. We've seen some great performances, some teams, some players that have really caught our eyes, and we want to talk about the players who have made, the biggest impact on this season. There have been a ton of them if you look at the stats, and you guys have done a fantastic job over on your website of keeping track of those. So let's look at section 1, biggest impact players. We can even call it an MVP race, but impact it encompasses more people. So let's look at the impact players.
Sure, a couple kids that have really stuck out to me. Grayson Saladay at Manheim Township.
Right.
A great dual threat kid, running back, linebacker, makes plays all over the field. And what impressed me was I thought he played, if not his best game, one of his best games in the biggest game of the year. He played great in the win over Wilson. Rushed for 128 and 2 touchdowns, had a pick 6, made tackles.
Wow.
He was phenomenal. So Saladay has been a solid kid at Township. He'll be a 1,000-yard rusher. Like him a lot.
To be fair, he did have 6 touchdowns against CB, so.
That's right. He had that game too. Wow. Yeah. I forgot about that one. Oops.
yeah.
But yeah, he beat up Wilson pretty good
Yeah.
too that night. Grayson's been great. Speaking of CV, Jose Barbone.
Yeah.
I mean, what a season for Mr. Barbone. I think the kid's going to get a D1 scholarship out of this until
Good.
it's all said and done. Could be a 1,000-yard receiver, pick 6s, punt returns, kick returns, making catches. He's been great. Tyree Stead, his teammate, he could be a 1,000-yard receiver. He's had some amazing games catching the ball because Barbone's always double teamed. He always has a safety over top, which has opened up a lot of single coverage for Stead. Tanner Schwilk has been great for CV. Outside chance at 3,000 passing yards. Almost 30 touchdown passes. I don't know who saw that coming back in August. We knew he had the weapons. Weren't sure if he could get it there, but Tanner Schwilk has been amazing. Iggy Reynoso, the last kid I'll mention from Wilson. A lot of scholarships. We knew coming in he'd be a high-profile kid, and he's been great. Now goes into week 10, 1,200-plus rushing yards, leads the league. Took him a little while to get going this year. They had some offensive line injury and some kids moving around. 52 yards Reynoso needs in week 10 here against CB to become Berks County's all-time leading rusher.
Wow,
That's
okay.
a great number. So Reynoso's great. So Reynoso, the 3 CV kids in the passing attack, and Grayson Saladay.
Yeah.
They've been great in section 1.
Well, yeah, and Reynoso did start out slow. They were like 1 and 2 to start
They
the
were,
season. So,
yeah.
yeah, he really has come on late and has
Yep.
looked good. We'll keep an eye on him for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll move to Section 2. There are just so many good players and good teams
Oh, yeah.
there. I mean, I know it's hard to pick from, but obviously we'll kind of extract a couple of the players.
Sure. I'll start with Cameron Roth, and please throw out Garden Spot's record.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
And they've struggled defensively, and they'll admit that.
Agreed.
Yeah, they'll admit that. But Cameron Roth has been amazing on the field. This kid takes hits, gets up, keeps going. Joined the 5,000 pass, 2,000 rush club earlier this season. That's amazing. Just the 3rd LL player to do that. Needs 87 rushing yards here in week 10 against Manheim for 1,000 rushing this season. Already over 2,300 plus passing yards this season. So that would put him in the 1,000 single season club, and only 8 LL quarterbacks have done that. So Cameron Roth has been amazing. Stick with QBs. Evan Simon at Manheim Central, sophomore. We were anxious in August to see what this kid had, and he's been fabulous. Manheim Central, only undefeated team, coming in here to week 10. Evan Simon's been great, had a lot of help from Tyler Flick, 1,000-yard kid, bounces off people, gets a lot of yards, gets a lot of touchdowns. He's been great. Another sophomore quarterback, Noah Palm at Cocalico. Big expectations on him. He's lived up to it. Didn't beat Manheim Central head-to-head, but take that game out, and Cocalico's been amazing. It seems like they score 50 points and get 400 yards every week. Noah Palm's been great, and definitely one tip of the cap in Section 2. Cocalico's defense, they returned 10 guys this year, and we figured that might play a role, and Cocalico's D has been really good. They were number 1 in the league for a good chunk of the season. Now they're like number 3 or something coming into week 10. But Cocalico's veteran defense has played great, and they're going to need that D in districts.
And I do agree. And Cocalico's offense, I believe, is the #1 scoring offense in the LL League.
At points per game, yeah.
So, obviously they are a force to be reckoned with. And we'll see. There may be a chance for that Cocalico-Manheim rematch in the playoffs. We'll talk about that a little bit later. As for the playoffs, obviously we want to talk about the playoffs. They are coming up here. We will be into them while the show is going out on air. LL going to be really well represented. At least 3 teams in the 5A and the 6A brackets apiece, a pair of teams in the Quad A bracket. So we will focus on 5A first. Obviously, Manheim Central, Cocalico over there.
Oh, yeah.
We are keeping our eye on what could happen with them. Great teams. We're thinking they're going to make a run at the district championship game, perhaps. So what's the path to the title game maybe for each of those teams?
Well, as we stand, it looks like Harrisburg's going to be the 1 seed. The Cougars are undefeated and destroying everybody, and they've been great. They're the defending champs.
And that's in 5A and 6A, mind you.
This is true. It looks like Central's going to nab the 2 seed and Cocalico the 3. And the way things kind of shake down, Cocalico could get a first rounder with Cedar Crest.
That'd be cool.
A section team in a rematch. That would be interesting. 2 would play 3 in the semifinals.
Right.
So I think you want to avoid Harrisburg as long as you possibly can. So if it shakes down 1, 2, 3, we would get Manheim Central and Cocalico in a semifinal game at Manheim. Wow.
Yeah, there would be that rematch. Obviously, you said Cocalico dropped. That's Cocalico's only loss all season to Manheim. Wasn't by much. It was about 17-7, if I remember correctly.
17-7.
So yeah, we would keep an eye on that. But then that would guarantee that one of those teams would make it into the district finals.
Yes, it would. That's why you want to avoid Harrisburg as long as you can.
There you go.
Until the final.
And then they would have to go up against him. Do you think? Which team do you think would have a better shot at least making a dent into Harrisburg?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Harrisburg rolled Manheim last year. Remember with the passing game and they went up top with the bombs? Harrisburg's going to be the prohibitive favorite no matter who they play. You're going to have to control the ball, play keep away, and play great D against them. Central's #1 in the league in D. And Cocalico's like number 3 or number 4. So they both have good defenses.
It doesn't really matter then, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see. And that's 3 or 4 weeks out. And anything can happen between now and then. But as mentioned, we could see Cocalico-Manheim rematch, and then one of them perhaps get the Cougars.
We're looking forward to that.
Yes.
6A. So there's teams like just some powerhouse teams, Cumberland Valley, Manheim Township, Central Dauphin, one of my favorites, and the defending District 3 champs Wilson at this point are like barely squeaking in, which is just obscene. So it's definitely going to be an interesting tournament. What do we think about the LL teams and their chances in that?
Well, right now Manheim Township will be the 2 seed, and I'm hearing that even if Cumberland Valley, the 1, loses to Harrisburg, they're probably still going to have enough power points to be #1. Things can happen with Wilson here. They could move up with a win. Red Lion is in there. Dallastown is in there, and those teams play each other. A lot of these teams in 6A play each other this week or have a Saturday game. So we may not know what the bracket is until Saturday night.
Is that what it would be, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah, because they're Saturday games. So it's going to be later on in Saturday till we even figure it out. I think the people around here would love to see Township Wilson rematch. Depending how it shakes down, they might not meet until the final. Hempfield should also be in there. They should be safely in. They get Lebanon here in week 10. Hempfield, and there's even a scenario where Hempfield would get Manheim Township in a first round game in a Section 1 rematch. So Hempfield, Township, Wilson all in.
How wild would that be? Wilson starts out 1-2. You're not sure if they're going to make the playoffs, and then all of a sudden they get in there, they get into Wilson mode, and boom, they win it again.
That could happen.
That'd be crazy.
Anything, literally anything can happen in 6A.
Okay. Yeah, which is great. I mean, obviously it's highly entertaining for the fans and the media. Do you think, real quick, if Township and Wilson were to play again, now Township won the regular season, they knocked off the 68 game winning streak for Wilson in Section 1. Who do you think wins that?
I would probably take Township again.
Again, okay.
They'd be at home, a lot of momentum. Obviously, they'd be coming off of district wins, and I just really like their focus, mental focus, and the way they're playing. I'd probably lean Township.
Perfect. Love it. All right. Well, that will do it for another episode of Let's Talk. We really appreciate you coming on here. And obviously, we will have to find a time maybe with the winter or the spring season, see what kind of your schedule looks like.
Sure. Anytime. Anytime.
Awesome. All right. Well, don't forget, you can follow along with Jeff's work on LancasterOnline.com. Obviously, he's very active on Twitter, so that is Jeff Reinhart77. As always, if you want to offer up a topic for us here on the show, feel free to tweet me at News11 Sports. But for now, that is certainly our show. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Let's Talk. I'm your host, Chad Landers. Be sure to join me in 2 weeks for our last episode of the fall before we take a break and get ready for winter. I will see you next time.